Hey everybody, this is TF Now. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another action figure review. This is going to be of the Marvel Legends series Walgreens Exclusive Silver Surfer or Obsidian Surfer or the Fallen one, whichever you want to call it. It's a new Silver Surfer that we have here. Different colors, of course. Not super familiar with the storyline for this one here. I did want to pick it up just to see how this new Silver Surfer is. If any of you haven't gotten the previous one, now might be your chance to get one. Even though it's, not the classic brighter silver that a lot of us are used to. It still, to me, looks really cool. Let's go ahead and just take a look at the packaging here, which mine is sadly damaged. What we see on the top half here, it does say Marvel Legends series. It's very standard for Marvel Legends. The figure in the box, the contents of the box, really cool backdrop of a planet exploding back there. Bottom half here, it just says Silver Surfer and some nice text. It has the Hasbro logo as well on this side, as well as the other side is going to be reflected on the other side. Is this really nice artwork of the Silver Surfer. I think they did a really good job there. On the top here, just says Silver Surfer, age recommendation of 4 and up, and warning, choking hazard. On the back of the packaging, it even looks worse. I don't know how they got this figure beat up that badly, at least the packaging. But this is the only one I've been able to find in my area, sadly. I don't mind though, I'm going to take it out of the box. You can see it does say Obsidian Surfer, and you have a multilingual read-up right there, as well as Legend series in the top right. You get some nice artwork there of the character, and then it has multilingual warnings down there. You can see the rest of the artwork as well. It just, I think, looks really well done. And then on this bottom here, hopefully it's not too damaged, but we do have the barcode in case you need it. So let's go ahead and get this figure out of the packaging. So here is the figure out of the packaging. It's pretty solid overall. It is very much a repaint of the previous Silver Surfer, and I don't know which one I like more over the other right now. Both have their negatives and positives for each. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories that this figure comes with. Let's take a closer look at the figure. So we do get a Mjolnir here. We've gotten this version a good couple of times. As you can see, there is actually some nice writing on there that can be made out. My hand's a little shaky, but we do have a nice handle, which, I mean, it's just molded in this brown. I wish I had a little bit more paint. It is molded in this kind of marbleized silver plastic. I think there's a little bit of paint here. I just wish they used that paint here as well. The sculpt overall, though, is pretty well done. We have this surfboard here, the Cosmic Surfboard. And this here, we've gotten this before with the previous one as well. It's a different color. It's, very similar to how he looks now with this new figure. And I do like how they did the Toy Biz one originally, where there was like a metal piece in here and the feet had magnets. Eventually, I'd like to see if I could do that with any of these, but it's very simple to put on. There's only one peg. It's actually really hard to... It's not that hard. I got it on there. And yeah, this is relatively how it's going to look. It's not bad. It gets the job done, I just feel like it was more effective back then with Toy Biz, of course. We've gotten these effects here. I don't remember if they came with a previous one. We have definitely gotten these in the past with different figures. This is the time it's molded in this darker purple here, looking very nice. It's mostly a slightly translucent plastic, not much paint going on. The molding, the sculpting, it's all right. They look good overall. And we do have a pair of fists, which we've gotten these fists plenty of times with Marvel Legends. Don't really blame them for reusing them, but they're in this nice dark silver paint here, and they look awesome. So this review may be a little difficult because this guy really likes to blend in with the background here. It's a solid black here. It is very dark silver, but the way that they did this paint here looks really good. It's definitely better than the Stiltman I just reviewed, which they did it to where it was molded in like a gray plastic to make it look silver, and it had like the marbleized plastic in some areas. This has actually a layer of paint throughout the whole figure. You could feel it on here. It is just really nicely done. Now, one negative that, first of all, let's do a quick 360 while I talk about this. One negative that some people may have is that this is a body mold we have gotten plenty of times before. It's almost like it's reused just as much now as the Bucky Cat mold. I still like this body mold a lot. I do admit, though, it has a little too much reuse. So basically, it's not much different from the previous one. Look at all the nice the muscles though in certain areas. They did sculpt this pretty well overall. It's mostly muscle, as you can see, and they did a really good job. And they have these more pointed feet. I do think they need to change up the variety of feet sometimes, because, I mean, if the feet aren't that important, I guess, when it comes to certain shapes, they all could be very uniforms. But so that is a nice touch that could eventually be used upon for some characters. And they do that with some characters on this body, depending on the character, of course. The head sculpt's also pretty clean. It's the exact same as before, but the eyes came through really well with the white on there, as you can see. So there's not much complaints here. I'm going to use this time to bring out the previous one, as you can see. Very much the same figure. Sculpt and all. Of course, you can see much brighter silver. With this one, it's not very noticeable, but there are areas where the paint flakes a little bit, on the back at least. And I don't, this was like right after getting it a couple years ago. This doesn't have anything like that. I think they have different types of paint, different qualities of paint on here. So hopefully it keeps up. But yeah, it's there's not much to go over with this figure. If you own the previous one, it's very much like the new one. But that's not a bad thing. They did it well the first time. They did it well again with this one. The only thing is that you don't get as many hands with this one here as the previous one, because we have the more gripped hands, as you can see, which are going to be used for holding Mjolnir. And these we've gotten before with other characters. They actually have a separated index finger for, you know, guns and whatnot that we've gotten with certain characters. And I feel like these actually are too small for Mjolnir. The handle on Mjolnir is pretty big. I'll show that off towards the end of the video. But other than that tiny complaint, I don't have much else to say. It's, you know, simplistic, but that's the character. The only thing is that there's this bit of an ugly seam line going on. You see around here on the side of the head. And there's a bit of an indent, or mostly around here on the top of the head. It's just something I noticed just now. It really isn't that bad looking. Let's go over to articulation. Head goes up and down, side to side. We do have the forward back, which is actually really tight on my figure. Butterfly joint there, forward back. Arms go all the way around, in and out. There we go. We didn't want to go all the way out for a second. We do have upper arm swivel. Double joint elbows on my figure are a little stiff. Swivel at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. Ab crunch right there. Waist swivel. Legs go out that much. Back, in and out. Upper thigh swivel. We do get the double jointed knee. Also get the calf rotation there. Up and down, and an ankle rocker. So for size comparisons, on the far left we have that new Thanos Marvel Legends figure I'm in the process of reviewing. Right next to him on the left we have the older version of the Silver Surfer. Of course, there we have the newer version. And on the very far right we have the 80th anniversary Captain America. So Captain America is going to be a little bit taller than this body mold. I feel like the older version might be a smidge taller somehow. They're the same body. I think it might be a little bit hunched over somehow for the new version to make it look smaller, but they're about the same height. And that Thanos figure is pretty big. So overall, this is a pretty solid figure. I think the paint that they use on here is really solid. They did a really good job of making this figure stand out with that dark gray and metallic paint that they have covering this figure. The accessories are pretty cool. It doesn't come with as many hands as the previous one, but it makes up for that in different accessories in a wider variety. It is an overall very solid figure, and if you did not get the previous one, or if you absolutely need this version of Silver Surfer in your collection, I would pick it up. If you don't, though, and you have the previous version, you're happy with that one, then I would pass on this one, unless you want to get this one maybe mint on card for your collection. It's about 20 bucks. Hopefully you can find one at a local Walgreens. I found one, just one, with a really bad damaged package at my local Walgreens. Hopefully they'll get a little easier to get. Thank you guys very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what you think about the figure, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share amongst your friends, and I'll see you guys later.